Hey guys, it's me here back again with another video. So today, I'm finally doing the in-depth video, the Sukuna slash Itadori in-depth video today. And it's 5:06 p.m. for me, so I'm doing this now. And I'm gonna be taking some precautions. Alright, so Alright, so when we deal with Sukuna, so I'm gonna do with Sukuna first with his in-depth thing, right? So basically with Sukuna himself, um alright, so going through his wiki and but so as you know his name Roman Sukuna or Sukuna he's been called and jeez, how am I gonna start this out? So let's look at it though too as well, right? I want to go very in depth with it because Sukuna himself, um, I made a theory last night about how his appearance to versus how he looks now, which is kind of weird. And let me see. Alright, known as the undisputed king of curses, Sukuna, according to legend, was a demon though in truth was a human sorcerer during the prime era of sorcery 1,000 years ago. The sorcerers gave were all to defeat him. After his death, his corpse was unable to be fully destroyed, and henceforth his remains of 20 fingers preserved in brave wax traverse the ages as cursed objects. In the present, Sukuna has incarnated into Yuji Itadori due to the lazy eating upon his cursed food. So, the thing with Sukuna though, right, is that, and there's many times when people keep debating whether or not, or it's still detestable how, like, he was a human form and then he's a curse. He became a curse bird. And one of the main things I want to take from this is that he himself, and I personally have my theory that he is technically like a god curse, and just any type of curse. And because of that though, because alright, here's the thing though, because the first time we were introduced to his actual appearance, both manga and anime, they showed how he looked like Yuji. Like, and then you have a lot of people saying, oh, no, Sukuna just ate the, no, Itadori ate the finger because when Itadori ate the finger though, Sukuna, merged to look like his horse. When that is not the case, I've seen people doing that. I've seen people who said that, literally, said that. Some people ask, why does Yuji and Sukuna look so alike? And some people are like, oh, because Sukuna himself, when Yuji ate the finger, Sukuna kind of blended and to make himself look like his horse. And I'm like, did you read? Did you read the panel? Did you read the chapter? Did you watch the anime? Because I feel as if when people do that, I feel as if they just don't pay much attention to it. And let's be real here though too as well. My personal take with Sukuna is that he himself can well or not say, alright, yeah, he was human and he became a curse. And I'm like, that's weird. How did he what happened as to why he became a curse? And I'm not sure why is that, because he has shown his disgust for curses and he doesn't consider himself one, considering himself like a god, which technically he is. He's technically like a god curse. So his appearance, his personality, Sukuna has a sadistic personality and likes to see others suffer. He's also greedy and always wants to stay in control of the situation without caring about the consequences. Duh, what we expect. And alright, so Sukuna himself has proven to us that he's proven throughout the chapters why he is the most powerful one of all. Because his overall skills, right, his strength, so he could have been much more stronger when he was thousands of years ago to know. Sorry. His speed, Sukuna has shown to move at incredible speed, which is the opponent doesn't even notice that Sukuna has moved all through. And alright, let me say this too as well. Going back to what I want to say, that Sukuna himself is someone you don't mess with. And with the chapter in question, the Shibuya arc is coming to a close soon enough, and what we saw Sukuna's plan of what he's gonna do. So I'm gonna go through that, but not right at this moment. So these are all his abilities slash powers. No, his energy, his curse energy manipulation. Sukuna has a natural high curse energy level due to his status as the king of curses. He was also able to continuously use his curse techniques throughout his battles without exhausting himself in the slightest. It's true. Reverse curse technique due to his nature as special grade curse spirit, Sukuna can easily use reverse curse technique in order to regenerate lost limbs in an instant. Regain limbs as soon as he does it by accident, without even thinking. Binding vows, oh lord. And yet technique, I will go through that. It is currently unknown what Sukuna's curse technique is. He is shown to use his cursed energy to slash targets. Sukuna was also shown to use fire-based powers. So the fire-based powers thing, I know a lot of people, even me, are confused as to how and why he's using fire ability, and it really confused me. And his main attack, we know for sure, is dismantle and cleavage, kai or hachi. Like those are his two main attacks, specifically for him. And you see it's still there. You see his because because he's based off the Japanese god of the same name. Um, the original Sukuna in Japanese stories says to use a sword, a hammer, I think a spear also, um, and a bow and arrow. They don't show it here, which is weird because that's one of the other highlights of Sukuna, that he uses the hammer and a bow and arrow, but they don't show it here. They don't show it here. So his barrier techniques, his domain, malevolent shrine. Sukuna's domain expansion creates a Buddhist shrine decorated with skulls. Malevolent shrine is different from other types of domain expansion in that it doesn't create a separate space using a barrier. By allowing an escape route, a binding road is formed, which vastly increases the guaranteed hits effective area width and maximum. Yeah, his malevolent shrine itself is really scary to the point where you're like, what else can he do? Like, what else can he do? Right? We know he has more abilities, but we don't know the full extent of his abilities. And I've seen some people said on the Discord last night that the flames, the fire ability that Sukuna has, might not be his ability, but might be Yuji's ability. And I might come back to this right here, right? So here it is. It's based on the same name in Japanese mythology. Omin Sukuna is a demonic such spectre-like figure described in the Nihon Shoki in the Nihon Shoki, said to have appeared in the Hida province, today's Gifu prefecture, in ancient times during the reign of Emperor Nitoku. He was described as a man of inhuman strength, with two-faced head plus a total of 8 limbs, 4 arms, and legs respectively, that severed that served each face, yeah, wielding a multitude of weapons in his many hands, including, yeah, here it is, a bow, arrow, and a sword. He terrorized village after village in ancient Hida, plundering and leaving chaos in his wake. That is, until a brave military commander dispatched by the imperial court named Take Furukuma stepped forth. So we might see a character like this later on. So I made a theory that we're going to see someone called Takefuro Kuma in the series, unless it is like Gojo or Megumi, because either one, two of them could be that character, or we see an entirely different character. Because everybody's wondering, how in the world did Sukuna get defeated? How in the world did he was he killed? And my theory as to how he got killed, because we don't know where Geji's gonna take the story. So my initial theory is that we're going to see something called, and this is my theory, a weapon called the God Killer, and we're gonna see something called the God Killer, and and what that's basically going to show is that maybe a generation or yeah, some like a distant descendant of the person who defeated Sukuna in those ancient times. Because let's look at it this way too as well. Sukuna has plans to show. Sukuna himself has plans of his own with Megumi. So I'm gonna get into that. Finish read of this. Sukuna's kimono is rarely akin to a lady's kimono, such as space granted him more comfort while having forearms in the past. Sukuna ranked 10th place in manga's first character popularity book with 5,860 votes. Yeah, so the binding wall itself. So going back to that, the binding wall himself is that it's gonna be a very, 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 very worst thing. Sukuna has an unnamed binding wall with Yuji. The King of Curses agreed to revive his body after his apparent death in the Curse Wound arc under two conditions. Yuji would allow Sukuna to take over his body for 4 minutes when the cursed spirit would chant and chain, and two, he would forget about the agreement. Yuji initially opposed the binding while making Sukuna promise that he would kill her. Well, there's a loophole to that because apparently Sukuna demolished an entire block area of a city, of the city, killing like half the people who were there. So I don't know what people thought he was gonna play that role. The boy still disagreed to the terms and instead had a battle against King of Curses, where he allowed the agreement to occur if he lost. Sukuna effortlessly defeated Yuji, forcing him into the. So he did. So Sukuna himself is very smart, which is very, very creepy because he like found a way around that binding wall, and he himself. So with that in mind, he has more plans with Yuji's body, and we're gonna see more to that extent. And also too, um, I wanna go through like back to why Sukuna and Itadori look like one another. So last what, a few months ago, I did a video on that very same topic with and I showed it on video with the Camel Clan and how there's a theory that Yuji himself is from the Camel Clan, and there are reasons as to why I believe into this theory is because 3 times, well, what, 3 or 4 times we were told, wait, 3 or 4th time they mention the Camel Clan every given time. And during the first few moments of the arc of the manga, we were given a foreshadowed thing about the cursed womb in the prison arc. And it blew my mind last night, and I'm like, wait a minute though. They mentioned the cursed womb. The same cursed womb they mentioned later on in the chapter where Kamo himself, Nurashiti, Kamo Nurashita himself have been experimenting so many times on cursed wombs. And you will see what I mean, right? So maybe do some first. Oh wait. I don't need to do that because I'm gonna go into Yuji's in depth because this is just all the basic things for Sukuna himself. And in the manga, no. He already ate 15. Yuji has already eaten 15 fingers already. So, yeah. I will come back to Sukuna. Um, see, Shoko, where is it? Where is it? Alright. No. Sukuna's book. Yuji, Itadori, Yuji. Alright, the main protagonist is first year. Alright. Alias type Sukuna's person, character of West Junior High. Alright. I don't need this right here right now. The muscular teenager. Why are you doing this to me? Don't do this. Please. No. 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 The thing about with Yuji, right? See, like I said, I'm gonna go back to Yuji himself, Itadori himself, all of everyone in the manga itself, all of everyone from the manga itself, Itadori is the one that, and I'm gonna say this, Itadori himself, out of everyone, is the most mysterious one out of everybody. Like, for the first chapter, when he and Megumi were fighting that curse spirit that was attracted to Sukuna's funeral, and the fact that when he ate the finger, and Megumi was worried because it was said that Sukuna himself is known as the king of poisons. So I mentioned that in the other video on and I linked the Tumblr's page where I got the theory from, right? So when he ate the finger, boom, immediately Sukuna came out. And a lot of people are like, how in the world did he himself is able to control Sukuna? Because Gojo himself looked very, very like what? Because if you look at if you look back in manga, Gojo himself literally said that, oh, so you're able to suppress him. And you're like, oh, he's able to suppress him just like that. And he's like, what? No, I want to go through his enroll on the appearance, uh, his personality, and it makes me wonder how. No, it is really not true. I believe in the theory that Yuji himself um has a has a heavily restriction on him. Now I'm gonna get into the juices of like theories soon enough. One of Yuji's so so on this and a fair person who plays greatly no, this kind of spot. Anyone who uses people with their own wills, despite how deep or shallow connection to lightness cares greatly for the value of life, and to this end, we ensure that others receive fear after death. I don't know, one more composed, good natured emperor. You can be angered very quickly in the face of pure malice after witnessing firsthand the cruelty which curses were capable of. In particular, Maito's inhuman exploitation, inhumane exploitation, and discard of Fuku, Yuji felt so profoundly disgusted that he felt first time in his life like a genuine desire to kill. One of Yuji's defining traits is a willingness to sacrifice himself for others, triggered by his grandfather's last words to him to die surrounded by others. When he and megumi were under the threat of being killed by a curse, Yuji impulsively swallowed Sukuna's finger in order to exorcise the curse and save them despite meeting them for the first time. Oral skill. That's just his. He's able to destroy walls with ease and can throw a lead ball with enough force to bend a circle hoop. He's also been able to throw several cards in succession. Remember when I said that he himself is a mystery? Yeah, he is a mystery. He himself is a mystery. Man, ah, enhance durability, usually durability, suppresses attack and sorcery. He's still able to fight special taskers, to use in a hand and multiple fingers. Enhance speed and reflexes. Proficient learner, usually a curious person who tended to ask and make sense to his instructor. He's also good at progressing being quick, such as move, appreciation, training, and realize eyes toes guide quickly. Point who Tommy, he's the best he's best looking among the trio of the book. Wow, has shown that he can easily master with a shirt. Yeah, so if that doesn't completely boggles your mind, I don't know what. Because even before when he ate the finger of Sukuna, he was still able. And when I say still, he was still able to be a learner, right? Now we saw it at the global arc. For you anime onlys, and I suggest some of you go read the manga now because it's gonna get wild from there, very wild. Because like I said, Yuri himself is a man of all mysteries. He's a man of all mysteries. Proficient hand-to-hand combatant, usually is a skilled combatant that can make quick adjustments and problems. Usually can make refined attack, like stopping his attack just before it hits and adjust his bow within his wrist. Still a martial arts skill, title martial arts. He is capable of performing knee release, which is an ancient martial arts technique that limits starting movement. Usually not only able to release his knees, but also his hips and shoulders instead of falling down. He's able to guide himself to the yeah, he surprised me there when he did that. Poison resistance. Weapon master. Yuji was not trained in the use of weapons. However, due to his physical power and intelligence, and master. Like I said, he's a man of all mysteries. And like no one can see whether or not it might be Sakuna's doing. Like he's the one that lets him like all his knowledge of using weapons and all of that. No, I don't think that's the case. Really. Because Yuji's parents are a mystery. His grandfather is a mystery also. So so what exactly is he? Because many persons are asking the same question. The group himself, what are you? Everyone is Yuji. He's not human. Like he is not human at all. Besides the point of being Sukuna's host. He's cursed. He's great cursed energy. I think some parts of the great curse seem to have. Never fist. Equal point on the target. It's cursed. Energy flows and makes stronger second impact. Averaging fist was often used initially, but after you just fight with total because this is the school goodwill event and the Kyoto third years quickly up its attack. You practically stop using it. Each currently has the ability to perform its attack. The flash technique that creates spatial distortion when a user connects with an impact of cursed energy within a span of 0.00001 seconds of physical hit. The phenomenon causes cursed energy of flash cursed energy to flash black. Hmm. Either that is a mistake, or I don't know why they put that in there. Creating an attack that is equal to a normal hit to the power of 2.5. Apparently, Yuji is capable of using my dash 4 times. Well, times. I have heard that he has used it better than anyone else in that span. By new role, Salty Demon, Charm, upon given by his soldier Satoru Gojo, and belongs to Makizen, is effective against curses. It was destroyed by a special grid curse. Alright, trivia. Usually 173 meters, 5'8", and I can continue growing. Oh, he weighs 80 grams, and 60 pounds, but his body fat percent is in single digits. Those watching TV has a huge repertoire of half expert impressions. He isn't picky about food. He isn't actually a hoodie guy about weirds because he can be indecisive. His type his type is Congress with the like J-Lo. Yeah, J-Lo. Oh my god. That one in itself is funny. Mm, mm, mm. So I want to go back to the theory with Itadori and Sukuna, and I wholeheartedly believe that yes, they are family, they are related. Because come on, let's look at it this way, Itadori. Yuji was meant to find that finger. First of all, let's not deny. He was meant to find it. Like trust me, he was meant to find that finger. He was meant. It was fated for him to meet Sukuna. No doubt about that. Seeing that he's a mystery himself. He himself is a mystery. And one of the worst instances is that he himself, seeing that he's a fast learner. No, so alright, going back to what I did in the other video and what I've been saying in the Discord, that Yuji himself, Yuji and Sakuna are, let's say, both related to the Kamo clan. And you guys can check out that video again where I said it, because, and there's a theory, I think one of us made in the Discord, is that Yuri himself is a cursed woman. Well, it's still up to debate whether or not we want to believe that or not. But I want to say he is, because they keep mentioning it. And the weirdest thing about it, though, with all these people saying about how you have all these stuff, my question is, where that so-called memory manipulation everybody's been um wholeheartedly talking about, really? Because, and I want to actually get to that thing, right? So I'm not gonna show any manga panels until I know how to edit properly. And Yuji's, alright, Alright, so I have a theory with that itself, right? Let me see. Um, let me see. Let me see. Um, let me see. Yuji, because I don't think it's memory manipulation. Really, it's not. We all have our different opinions or different stance, but I think I kinda like I think I kinda have my stance. Like I think I have my own stance with Yuji that it is not memory manipulation. And I can tell you why too as well. And some people in the Discord have said it that it is way too specific to be a memory manipulation. It's a way too specific. And I agree, it's way too specific. Because some people are saying, oh, what you did is evil, this and that. And I'm like, it's not memory manipulation. Because I said it in the other video, and I'm gonna say it again, this time in this in that video. Like, that it's not. It's not. And I want to actually go back. Alright, so this is the chance where I want to have my intake on the rule of three. So the rule of three, I would say this. Alright, so I made this theory in the Jujutsu Discord, the official Jujutsu Discord. And so here's how I see the rule of three. The rule of three I will see with Yuji. So how this works is that, well, you can apply it back to anyone, but I dub it as rule of three. So rule of three would will carry out a process where you would meet the specific persons who you would likely who would likely have repressed memories. And here's how I've said it before. So the first person to have their memories come back, to have their memories come back of a repressed memory is total. Because remember, because because it says that at a moment a memory was born inside Toto's brain. My thing is, I highly, highly doubt is memory manipulation. Because here it says that at a moment a memory was born inside Toto's brain and all that. And I'm like, I thought, I thought within itself it was a gag, but when I looked at it back again, it's not. And let's look at this again, right? Like this specific image, when Yuji Nishibuya art, I think I don't remember which one, but I want to get back into this, like, and why I say Yuji is a part of the Kamo clan. And when I say apart, he's like a relative of the common clan. Because right after the Shibuya arc, not after, but in between the arc, Yuji and Chozo met and they were fighting. And then Yuji about to get killed by Chozo himself. Boom got a memory of him. Um, this is Ezo and look at the other name and Yuji. And then he just leave and everybody's saying, oh, it's just memory manipulation, it's just a defense mechanism. And I'm like, I don't know if it's a defense mechanism because this is way too specific to be memory manipulation. Way too specific. Like way too specific to be memory manipulation. And then again though too, if you read it back, it shows the vials, the other curse groups. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So, like that's way too specific. Because everybody's saying, oh, it's just a defense mechanism. So going back to rule 3, what I came up with. So with that sense, with total, is like number 1. Because let's be really clear though too as well. With total himself being the case, he got memories. Now remember, it says that past event never happened. But I'm saying maybe it did happen, and people, and maybe some of us are just too dumb to realize it. Because we got one image of Yuji when he was back in junior high, which to me says that if you think about it, we don't know what Yuji was doing all through time before any other event. Really. Hmm. Hmm. No, I want to go back to the good one thing. When he asked him, was this type of girl? I would say that kind of triggered his memory. Repressed memories. I'm still gonna say it's repressed memories. I would say, still gonna say, The repressed memories. Yep. Uh, huh. Hmm. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh my. He just played evil. He just played evil. At this point in time. Hmm. Because the Goodwill arc itself. Ah. Mm. Again, memory does not. Memories that don't exist. I want to put that to the test. About defense mechanism. Defense mechanism, my foot. Defense mechanism, my foot. Because you're gonna expect me to believe that two persons who which that never met saying the same exact thing coincidentally without meeting each other saying the same exact thing. Yeah, I know about that. Because he even asked him, this is that tall girl with a big butt, I guess. And it triggered him. So going back to what I'm saying about rule of three, so it triggered a repressed memory of Toro himself, like a specific action. Alright, so going back to what I was saying about the rule of three, the rule of three itself, like what I'm saying about the rule of three, right? So we start first with total. So when Yuji said something specific about what was this type of girl, it instantly triggered Total's repressed memories of him and Yuji back in junior high. So it worked for Total. For Chozo, it's a different case because Chozo, it seemed to work. I don't know. I think it has to do with something as to why it worked. I think it had to do with something. I'm not sure why how it triggered with Chozo, but it specifically went. It somehow triggered it, but but because remember, because a lot of people say, "Oh, Toru is too much. Toru is doing something that he shouldn't be doing because he's giving his life to someone he has never met." How do we know that? Trust me. Now, the rule of three was specifically said was that it would work. So my theory is that how the rule of three would go about is that you with three specific people to get back those repressed memories. So one with Total, one with Chozo, and what's her name? Takachan? The idol girl. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you know what I'm talking about, the idol girl. Because apparently she, and what people don't understand is that she herself is in the forefront of this. I'm not even joking, much less. Because on the Twitter for Jujutsu Kaisen, one of the unofficial pages, she herself, so because in the manga itself, it showed it showed because when Doro got back that memory, that repressed memory, it showed all three: Yuji, Todo, and Taka. Or let me see what's her name. Kari, Agasaurus first, Takaji, Junpei, Suzu, Yuko Oza. No, you're telling me she doesn't have a page herself. Because on the Twitter page itself, right, it showed both, it showed all three, Takada, Yuji, and Todo. And and I was thinking to myself, and I was like, oh my god. So it will go to back to what I'm saying about rule of three. So maybe specific persons who either got the memory wiped, or memory wiped, memory I wanna say that, or just forgot about it. I mean, say what you want. That's my take. Say what you want about this case. Say that or like I'm saying, say what you want. Be, oh, it's memory manipulation, this and that. I know some people are gonna say, what I'm saying is trash, bullshit, and all that. And I'm like, you can say whether you want or not. It's your opinion. But I made it clear that it is not memory manipulation. It's way, because person have said it before that it's way too specific to be memory manipulation. And when you look back at Chozo's case, with Chozo's case, it is not memory manipulation. Because, and I think I've said this in another video, I don't remember, and a lot of people were saying, oh, it might be one of Sukuna's unknown abilities. When 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 within itself showed that Sukuna himself was confused in that arc. I'm gonna say it too. Sukuna himself, when he was about to swap with Yuji to go and fight, he himself was wondering what the hell is going on. What is this? It's way too specific. And again, and I've said this in the other video, you realize how they kept bringing up the Kamo clan. The Kamo clan is always brought up again and again. And I'm like, I'm gonna say that Yuji is a member of the Kamo clan. I'm gonna say he is a relative. He is a part of the Kamo clan. That's what I'm gonna say. And Chozo getting that specific memory, and I'm saying this to Chozo himself getting that specific memory of Ezo, Tezo, or Chozo, and Yuji himself all sitting down at a picnic table. Well, not picnic, having dinner or something with all with the other cursed womb in a vials. So it's gonna be hard to it's, because it's gonna be hard to dispute with people saying this is all just fake memories, and I'm like, I don't see how it's fake within itself, because in the latest chapter, chapter 133, where still in the Shibuya incident arc, um, after Maito got his ass beat and he's running and acting like a little bitch for Ghetto's help. What ended up happening was that Chosen himself, and I'm gonna read some of it. I'm not gonna show it because and also I want to actually address the strike, and I'm not sure why. So some of you may have noticed as to why the Junpei in-depth video is gone. So a few days ago, um, Shueisha themselves um, put out a copyright takedown of that video. So the thing is, this specifically, I got a copyright takedown. So initially, I got a strike on the channel. So, and I'm gonna say it is my fault. And I wanna say, and I think it's solely my fault because I didn't. It's kind of my fault. So I didn't edit or do anything with the manga itself. Like, well, I solely blame myself. But it's kind of scummy what they did still because I'm like, you could have at least. I'm like, I don't know why they specifically put it. I specifically am wondering why they copyright the video and gave me a strike. They could have literally just they could have literally just give me a strike. No, not a strike, but just issue something of a copyright. I'm like, they could have just asked me, to just take down the video, and I had sent them an email. So I had sent them an email, and I'm still waiting for that reply. Someone on that team, because yeah, I don't know, because honestly though, I kind of blame myself. I have myself to blame because I shouldn't have shown that much of the panels, but it was just the context of the video to show visuals. But I feel as if I should have edited it to make it much more constructive. So I'm doing this for now, for my better judgment. Alright, so this is gonna include chapter 133 review as well, because it's still pertaining to the plot. Because so in you guys can go read it yourself. So so it's within itself, right? We see Todornito going through the crowd and the station specifically. And Todo said that it seems that Suguru Geto has already left for the prison realm. There no and then he snapped his when Nito was about to say no, Todo said let's move on. And he's saying that this fight's goal has changed from retrieving Satoru Gojo to saving our allies and whittling down the enemy forces. It's hard, knowing brother he's nearby. Nito know in his head saying he has a brother? I thought he was an only child. No, I've seen some people, I've seen some certain people in the Jujutsu Discord saying about how Yuji, what Yuji did was evil, this and that nonsense, and I'm like, and I'm saying it is not. So let me skip through here. Let me skip through here. So now, page number 8 is where we saw, where some of us saw the leaks, because there were leaks specifically to that, where we saw Chozo himself sitting in the booth. I think it's a booth. We're just hiding, and we see Yuji say, "What's wrong, brother? You feel unwell?" And Chojo's is there crying because he's like, "What is this? What are these memories?" And he's saying, "I have to go." And he's saying, "Yuji Itadori, what are you?" Because he's asking the right questions. Yuji, what are you? And he's saying, "I have to know." And what am I? So so specifically, what he's saying is that, and and like I said before, again, it goes back to what everyone was asking. What the hell is Yuji? Because he asks, "What are you?" And he has to know what, and specifically, what is he? Because tying back to the Kamo clan theory of Sukuna being a member of the Kamo. Now, I want to see, I don't want to put this in perspective where, yes, yes, when people base things off of historical characters, yes, when people, alright, so yes, when writers do base characters off historical figures in history, you know that there's always a tendency to like put a spin on it, and also having more of the things that they still have attributes of, but more of a spin in your image. I get that, because with Sukuna himself being a historical figure in Japanese culture, specifically back in the Hida province, because, and specifically to I want to say is that it it stems it stems from the line of of what you want to be left in, what you don't want to be left in until later on. It's the same thing with half the stuff we get in manga and anime. Perfect example in Naruto, where every, because apparently when people will complain about, oh, why the hell did it go to this now? Why the hell did it go to the gods? And I'm like, it was bound. And that's the thing about Kyoto as well. And that's the argument a lot of people were having, is that, so why it went to this territory of gods? And I'm like, I feel as if the people don't understand. And then, no, and then let's say some people want to complain about, oh, it's getting way too political and I can't bother getting into the politics. And I'm like, have people not remember where this is? And it's not just Japan, it's parts of Southeast Asia, Asia. It's always political in everything. I'm like, it's always political, because I've seen some people complain about how why the hell did they add in Kaguya? Why is such an asshole and all? And I'm like, it kind of fits the story of what Kishimoto was going for because it was referenced way back in early Naruto. Part 1, Part 2. It was only a matter of time before. No, it was only a matter of time of when the introduction of those characters would come in. The gods. And alright, so going back to this now, next chapter, where Fate Ghetto essentially I save you, Maito, little rat, he got played badly. And you know, Yugi saying they might as well Ghetto and all that. Yeah, police robe, scar on his forehead, if he's saying get back. All that. And I have seen a theory, people were saying about how Yuki, um, in the flashback, in the flashback arc, where, hidden inventory, yeah, hidden inventory, but you should go read for context, um, saying about how, and it's all connected though, so I want to say that for sure. And and going back to what I'm saying about like the thing the most I want to say is that maybe for specific people who have some sort of repressed memories are supposed to get them. But so what I've been saying is that usually not usually like the three persons who are supposed to get bad memories of Yuji are supposed to I don't know because it's rather confusing within itself. And it makes me wonder though too as well. And you know, it makes me wonder. Alright, I'm going back through the manga here. Um, yeah, it's somewhere in Original Obedience where Nobra and Yuji are fighting the brothers, which is really sad. I want to go back to right here because it's rather something. Because Ezo himself was wondering, how can you move so fast? He's confused. Yeah, it's rather sad. So I'm going through. No, alright, going back and Alright, so for the context where he's just saying this, so the part specifically I'm wondering, and it makes me question, where the other brother saying brother, and you see Ezo's eyes, he's saying us three are parts of the same. And I'm like, going back to that. I'm like going back to that. I'm wondering, did did did, did he get a memory? All right, all right. So Ezo Kechizu, Kechizu. I'm wondering, did he get some memory or something? This is my speculation. Because I don't know why because it confused me when he said brother. Us three are parts of the same. I'm wondering, was Geisha foreshadowing? Because looking back at that part, I'm like, it makes me wonder, did he somehow get a memory of them being together? Maybe not. I'm just saying. You could say I'm kind of reaching. Hmm. Edo, Edo is in the will to completely stop this enemy before the win reaches Kurosaki. The sincerity is what defines usually Itadori. Epic is followed by the black spark, black flash. He said, "Don't die, brother, bro." It's rather sad. But I'm wondering because, and let's be real here though, too, because when Chozo and Yuji were fighting and all that, one of the main things what Mekamaru said to Chozo is that, and I want to say it's rather true to what Mekamaru was saying about. It's the fact that all three of them basically got used. They were played like a fiddle, and that's the reason why both of his brothers died because they were so naive in following Ghetto to the point where they failed to see what the aftermath is gonna come. Because, and you can say through that process, they died for, how can I say, no. How should I put this? They died, hmm, I could say they died without a cause. Like, literally, they died without a cause. Because it catches you, yeah. Hmm. And I'm like, and let me be honest here. Are we sure the Jujutsu school? Because alright, let's take into account, right? Because in the Shibuya arc, and so that when Sukuna himself was fighting Gojo after Gojo threatened um some of the fingers that led up to 15 fingers inside Yuji, and when he was fighting him and all of that, and I think one of the moments where when Sukuna defeated Jojo, Jogo, it suddenly went into like a realm like purgatory, and he was basically saying that they wanted to be human because after all this time they're going to reincarnate as humans, and I'm like, wait, and I'm like, wait, that was your goal? You guys wanted to be human? And the line where Sakuna said that, stay strong. And then that emotion just hits you. When you see the moment Jogo cried. And then he looked at it and was like, what is this? And Sukuna was like, and he went back to his ass, assholeish self, saying, don't ask me, I don't know. And that says to me, I'm like, and I was asking this on the Discord as well too, is that what the hell happened few thousand years? I'm like, what the hell happened? Because they were doing this because they said that they wanted to be humans. And I'm like, hmm, I might touch upon that. But like I'm saying though too as well, and in the same video that I made, the two-part video, that they themselves, like both and Yuji and Sukuna are, and like, yeah, they are related. They are blood related as well. And in that same video, it does give evidence. It does show that they are possibly related. Because how else can Yuji can be able to host, control, and not die from Sakuna's possession? Because within that realm, because here's the thing though too, because a lot of persons would be asking, how is it that Yuji himself was able to host Sukuna without dying? And I'm like, they are relatives. They are related. Some not somehow, but they are related. And going back to the Kamo thing, where specifically in the flashback, where they talked about the cursed womb and all of that, I would say that, and Yeah, in the Discord, the Jujutsu official Discord, someone was been talking about, and I'm saying, Yuri might be a cursed womb because there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt. There might because and it was said that with Narashita, Kamo Narashita, it was said that he experimented on the girl 9 times. Like initially got her pregnant and kept experimenting and experimenting on his children. So much to the point where there were 9 cursed death portraits. But I'm like, wait a minute though. I'm like, wait. Because I'm like, so how many? Because I'm like, if there are just 9 of them, I'm like, wait, was there just only 9? Or there could possibly be more? Because I'm finding it hard to believe that there would be 9 of them. I'm like, you sure there isn't a 10th one somewhere? Because 9 cursed wounds, death paintings, I should say. I'm like, there should be at least 10, not 9, 10th. And unless Yuji's one of the 10th. And like I said, it goes back to that of all 4 sitting at a table, eating, or about to eat, in a floor, in a floor field. And my question is, because, and like I said, whether you can say this video is bullshit or not, I don't know. You can say whether or not you like this theory or not, but I'm going with what I'm seeing and saying. You guys can some of you can choose to say it's memory manipulation. There's nothing to it. Because because people like to say, oh, it's a defense mechanism and it's just an asshole, and I'm like, how can you say it's a defense mechanism? Because the argument would show that if it's a defense mechanism, then that means that it should have worked with other people then. But specifically, it worked for 2 people. I know I've seen other people saying, oh, it might have been a curse from Yuji's grandfather, like his grandfather cursed him. Alright, I can put that into the mix, that his grandfather kind of cursed him, but I can't call it a curse that his grandfather put on him because we be essentially be saying that his grandfather cursed him to people can be around him for when Yuji dies. But I'm like, I don't think that's the case though, because I've said this in the Discord, I think yesterday, saying that I don't think that curse is so much effective, because seeing what Sukuna is doing and seeing how everybody's going, because seeing how after this arc, there's no doubt in my mind that, because after this arc, after the Shibuya incident, there's no doubt that the elders themselves are going to revoke. Is it revoke? I'm trying to find a word. What's the word? Oh, revitalize the execution plan for Yuji, because let's be real here. Because after this arc, how are they going to put up with the damages because, and then no, here's the thing though too. There's going to be some people who are going to blame Yuji. Yeah, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be half the persons who are going to blame Yuji. You just have Sukuna. Because why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Sukuna is the one responsible for destroying half a block. Not half a block, but an entire part of the city. Killing half the people that were there. And granted, yeah, you can see that, alright, yeah, there were other deaths and all of that. But what I'm taking from this is that they're going to essentially blame Yuji because it's all his fault. And what I mean by that is that you're going to essentially put the blame on him because initially it's his presence that caused all of this event to happen. It was his very presence that caused this. Now you can say whatever you want still, but they're gonna put it in that light saying that it was Yuri Itadori's presence that caused this mess. And Kozakabe himself have said that he's not going to support Yuji anymore, and he's in for the execution of Yuji. And I'm like, I feel as if there's going to be more people who are going to be on that side of wanting Yuji's execution, while the other side wouldn't agree to it. Because granted, there are going to be some people who are going to say, yeah, no, you know what? He needs to die. He needs to be executed. And it's going to be a problem. Look at the cat. Going to be a problem. So Yuji himself is that, I'm going to say that, alright, so the people who I say is going to defend not wanting Yuji's execution would be Miwa, Miwa, and Kamo. But Kamo is in question still. Because those are the people who, those two would not want to agree to Yuji's execution. Meanwhile, others are gonna say, yeah, no, he needs to be executed. Miwa, and Kamo, I would say would be on Yuji's side. Meanwhile, for Megumi's case, I don't know how you're gonna do it. Either gonna try to manipulate it, or tell him that, or guilt trip him into saying that if he doesn't agree for Yuji's execution, how do you feel that if he still walks around and then hurts your sister? So they're gonna tell Megumi that he will have no choice. I've been saying on the Discord too as well, is that Yuji himself, that Yuji's going to have to be on the run after this arc, because there's no way he's going to give himself willingly to be executed. No way. And I feel as if the Todo himself is going to help Yuji, because Todo is a homie. Todo is like a brother to him. Todo is his best friend. And I believe that what Todo had is a repressed memory. I said it in the other video. Is a repressed memory. And Todo is going to do everything in his power to help Yuji not be executed and help him escape. Because some people don't really pay to Toto's ramblings and his weirdness, but Toto himself has shown that, and, we see Toto's personality where he doesn't care about other people that much, because really he doesn't care about that much of other people, but only Takada-chan, or Idol Girl I call her. And I have said that my rule of three is gonna either be her getting memories of Itadori. Well, it would be like that. It would be like that because I'm going with my theory of the rule of three, of like specific persons would have to get back memories of Yuji. And going going by like some of the stuff, I'm like, yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't believe this. It's not memory manipulation. It's way too specific to be memory manipulation. Oh, and I want to go back to one of the things where with Yuji himself saying about how I wanna go back to that moment where I'm wondering though too as well, because I have heard theories, and I would say that maybe he is on a heavily restriction, because let's be real here, he like is on some heavily restriction. He is a man of all mystery. He is a mystery because Yuji himself at this point is gonna go mad. He's gonna go crazy, and it's true. Yuji is a ticking time bomb. And one of the things I want to put out is that, because one of the other theories I've been seeing about the flames that Sukuna had, I seen someone in the Discord have said that maybe the flames is one of Yuji's abilities. It could be, might not be, who knows? Really, it goes back to that, because if Yuji himself is a fast learner and all that, it could mean that some of these are, because granted, it could be some of Sukuna's abilities he's getting, but he himself has some hidden abilities of his own. So I'm like, it's going to be a problem, because Yuji himself is a monster. He is truly the tiger of the West. He's truly a tiger. Yuji is truly a tiger. You don't know when you're. You see, with a tiger, you don't know when it's gonna pounce on you. Trust me, Yuji is a real tiger. Because trust me, because I think I've said this in the video. Because trust me, with tigers, oh boy, you see from the moment they see you and you don't see a tiger, and you see when they go in that bush, from the moment they see you and you don't see it, you're done for. Because one thing, and I'm gonna say this too as well, it always goes back to like a tiger, like something usually with tigers. The thing with tigers in nature is that there's a reason why in Southeast Asia, there's a reason why in India, Nepal, some parts of China, Myanmar through Malaysia, there's a reason why tigers are feared among the people because they have great hunting abilities. They can adapt to the wetlands and all the other stuff. They can pounce. They're fast. And also too, one thing with a tiger is that it's from the moment they hit those bushes, they are good at stealth. Tigers are good at stealth. No doubt. They're good. Because from the moment they hit those bushes, oh boy, you don't see them, but they see you. So that's what yuji is. A tiger. Because you don't know what, and this is the thing about it too, though too as well, is that you don't know what a tiger is going to do. Really. In nature, you don't know what a tiger is going to do. You can change it. You don't know too. From the moment they see that you know their tactics, they can do a 180 and change out their tactics and say, oh, okay, I can do one of that. So the flames from I'm hearing it could be Yuji's ability, could not can be Sukuna's ability. Oh, by the way, I wanna put this out there and I wanna say this though too before anything else that I kinda theorize with others in Discord about Yuji's the potential of Yuji's domain and how what type of domain it could be. And and I was saying it could be like I saw someone on Discord say that his domain could be some light, like a benevolent shrine domain. I don't know. I could put that in perspective. But one of the other things I want to say is that Yuji himself, and I have come up with this theory that maybe his domain expansion, I could say, it could be like a purgatory domain or something to that extent of being so powerful, like a purgatory domain. Because because relying back on what I said in the other two videos and in the in-depth video, I think for Yuji's abilities, because the so and so memory manipulation people have, and I want to add to one because, like I said, I don't believe it's memory manipulation. Because I have said this in another video and I went in depth with Yuji that Yuji's a bit like the thing. I think one of his base powers could be no would be because it's the seek and I'm saying this again. It's to seek out repressed memories, desires, regrets, and objectives slash goals. So so that can be one case of that ability, because this, and then no he the ability where to find repressed memories, or to trigger repressed memories of him, should be an indicator. Because I've said this before, and I don't say Yuji is on some heavily restriction. Yuji himself, and the thing about it too as well, and I feel like it could be a memory problem as well. Yuji might have a memory problem. And I'm not exaggerating. He might have a memory problem. Maybe that's why. And that's why I'm saying Naruto as well. Is that we saw one photo of him in junior high. But the question is, what the hell was he doing? Because the memories Toto have of them both in junior high and them hanging out, people say, "Oh, it's nothing. It's just false memories." And I'm like, "Is it though? Is it false memories? I don't think it is." And you know, going back to the Yuki theory of Yuki being his mother, I'm like, there are there are people saying that Yuki could be Yuji's mother. So maybe, alright. So, and this is on the Reddit. So alright. So let me say, alright. Let me annex with that theory, right? Let me annex that theory. So the theory is that, oh, um, Yuki could potentially be Yuji's mother. This and that, this and that, this and that. And my thing is, maybe, maybe not. But it is, but you cannot deny. Alright, hold on a minute. Alright, I'm back. Um, you can't deny that it is way too coincidental, because and like I said, going back to hidden inventory, the flashback with Geto and Gojo, we saw, and it is not a coincidence. No, Yuki herself appeared in that flashback and have said to Geto, "What's your type of woman?" No, would anybody with a sense of that would see that it is no coincidence that she asked Geto that same question And then when Toro met her, and I got the same question, and that's where Toro, because here's the thing, it's all, and that's the thing about it, it's all about influence. Because let's look at it though too as well, right? And I made this theory as well, kind of like a one-off thing where Yuji and Toro had known each other. Because like I said, maybe I would just annex that theory and maybe try and give people that benefit of the theory, but I don't see it as that. I see something else that's different. I'm like it cannot be a coincidence that all three people, Toro, Geto, and Yuji, have met with that same type of question. What is your type of girl? Because remember, and I've said this in the other video, is that you can't possibly tell me that Toro and Richard weren't best friends in junior high, or even beyond, before. You can't tell me that they weren't best friends, because they were. Because remember, the first time we met Yuji, and the first time when Yuji was introducing himself to the principal of the school, Yuji said along the line, I'm Yuji Itadori. And his type of girl is Jennifer Lawrence. Tall girls with big butts, like Jennifer Lawrence. Then it's the same thing she said here. And you can't tell me it is way too coincidental. And like I said, like this is the thing that puts it out there too. He said a tall girl with a big butt, I guess. Like, and so on. And you see, like something happened. Like boom, it triggered some memory. And all that. Mm. It triggered some memory. Some repressed memories. Because one of the weirdest thing about it too is that within the same like area where Toto was quoting something from Takada, the idol girl, and Yuji's like, I don't know who that is, Uji something. And it's a Uji some idol or something. So I don't know. And that made me question a lot of things was wrong. I'm like, because Toto even said it himself, is that you just said you didn't know. But like, because Toto said like you didn't even know. Like, I'm like, anyone can put like that as a guess. But the way how that specifically was put made me feel that yeah, all three of them knew each other in junior high, and something happened as to why they wouldn't have memories. So that's why I'm going back to the rule of three. Because I'm saying if she meets Yuji, she will get like memories of him back. I'm not even joking. That's the thing. She would like to get memories of him. And Todo was like, dude, you weren't like that back in junior high. Because how the pieces were like, what is this maniac talking about? What is this goofball talking about? Saying he and you were best friends and this and that. But let's look back at it though too as well. Is that he himself have said that you weren't like that. You weren't like this back in middle school. And I'm like, hmm. So it made me question as well. What would happen if they were to be run and were to go back to their hometown? We don't know. Could get some memories back to back. We don't know. Trust me. And because of that though too as well, it leads me to believe that Yuji himself and Sukuna are related because I think I said it before that he could be like a descendant of Sukuna, and that's why he could actually host him properly, not properly, but properly host him. Because I'm like, let's not um let's not shy away from that. They are related, some in every shape and form, and we know what Sukuna's plan is with Megumi. That's why he kept Megumi alive. Because one of the things he wants Megumi for is, well, he's interested in Megumi's ability. Because Megumi's ability in, is some brief explanation of he can use like treasures, cursed treasures, I think that's what it is, and that his ability is like life and death, resurrection. So that's why he wanted to keep him alive because he wants him. Because one of the theories is that, and it is likely that he wants Megumi's power to resurrect his body, and we might see that. And I was saying on the Discord as well is that we're gonna see Morphe himself. No, he's gonna get used for that ability, and then Sukuna is gonna be like, I'm done with you now. Just cast him out. Because Sukuna did say to Yurami, which if you guys read the manga, you know, said, said to he or she that they should continue the preparation. So Sukuna has something in mind to do something, and I have come up with another theory that in the latest manga chapter where we see Geto fighting Yuji, I did see in the Discord as well that Yuji, like, something's gonna happen where Todo might come by and then like attempt to fight Geto, and I would say something would happen. Yeah, something would happen to the point maybe injuring Todo to the point where it angers Yuji even more. That, that's because apparently I would call it a foreshadow as well. That something bad is gonna happen to Todo to the point where Yuji's gonna go raging mad. Like he's gonna go raging mad. Cause Yuji's a time bomb. No don't. He's a time bomb. He's a time bomb. And no doubt he's not gonna explode with anger. Cause he has, and there's gonna be a tipping point. And I've said this before that Yuji himself, he's not gonna have people around him. Goodwill, goodwill intent. Goodwill intent. Like they're gonna have a bad and ill intent. People scoffing at him. And I can see that. He's not gonna have people surrounding him because he's not gonna be a good friend too. Because let's see, because here's the thing though too. It's testing half the person's patience already, saying that they're not going to support you anymore and will be in support of the execution. And I'm saying maybe Norba is dead, maybe she's not, but if it's a case where she is dead and Nita couldn't save her, then what's that going to do is that that's going to be one of the triggering points with Megumi, because they're gonna tell him that, you see, this is what happens. Because what I'm gonna say is that Megumi himself is not going to want to agree to it and say he can still save him and then know all of this and tell him that, you see, if you don't agree to this, then more and more people are going to die. And they're gonna basically give him facts and say that, I mean, they would try manipulating, but I'd say that wouldn't work. But they would tell him that, listen, you see how all these deaths are happening, and you still want to save him? He's beyond saving. And you know, say, what's gonna happen when your sister's in the mix? Because I know they're going to mention his sister. So what if your sister gets into the mix and ends up dying? Then what are you going to do? Because they're going to give him a choice. Because they're going to force him though too as well. No, they're going to force him. And I said this before that Yuji himself is going to be on the run. There's no way he's going to give himself up. Really. He's not going to do that easily. And Toto's going to be there to help him. Because I've said this before, is that how do we know that in this aftermath when everything the elders say, alright, let's put back the hit hold on Yuji, Itadori and Yuji, and say, yeah, we're carrying out that plan same way, because number one, Gojo is sealed. Nanami is gone. He's dead. Half the persons already dead. Maki and Oman Zenin, they're still, we still don't know anything yet. But we know that they were badly burned by Jogo. And I think Panda along the line won't support Yuji anymore because trust me, they won't. No one's going to support him anymore. Nobody. Half the persons won't. Some people would, and that's why I'm saying that's going to create a divide. Miwa and Kamo, I would say, would support Yuji. Meanwhile, the others are really like, no, 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 we're not going to support this guy because you don't know what's going to happen. Because I know for a fact that the Kamo clan itself is going to be mentioned back again. And I feel as if the Kamo himself, and I hope we get something of another, a big role for Kamo. Because he seems way interested in Yuji. So I'm gonna say, yeah, he seems interested in Yuji. Because I'm like, everybody's gonna say, oh, Toru's gonna be the real homie. He's gonna attack Yuji and all. And that might lead to his downfall, which, who knows? Because he himself, because I'd imagine if when he's on the run with Yuji helping him hide out, and then because one of the things I think would happen is that they're going to announce his so basically what they're going to do is that announce it, puts it out like a service, say wanted, and all that, and anyway, they're going to do that, trust me. They're going to put out like a wanted hit sign saying, if you see this guy, call us and we'll deal with him. Like a terrorist or something like that. And you're going to be like, damn, they're really going out for this. Because I had a theory that, oh, he's going to go back to his old home, but I would assume that they would be all over that place. And he wouldn't go to his two senpai's house. He wouldn't go there because 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 I'm saying they're gonna be like the Jujutsu task force. They're like a police. That's my theory. We're gonna have a Jujutsu police task force where they're gonna be all over the place. And he can't go to the girl he met that he was friends with in junior high. He wouldn't be able to go to her place. She wouldn't have no choice but to go back to he and Toro go back to their hometown. So I'm like, let's be real. Let's be real. It's gonna get messy from here, and it's gonna get political, whether you guys like it or not. It will get political. We're going to see the political side of the Jujutsu Sorceress. We're going to see more and more of it, like behind the scenes of the politics behind it. Because by the end of the day, and another thing I want to put out there too as well, we're going to see more god tier cursed spirits. No doubt in my mind, we are going to see them. We're going to see more god curses, and it's not going to end well. Because seeing that Gojo sealed, like all these curses will be stepping out to the shadows and say, "Oh yeah, time to wreak some havoc." The biggest god curses ever. we're gonna see, because I know we're gonna see some god curses, some other god curses, like curses we've never seen, and here's the curses that some of the Jujutsu's students have never seen or ever heard before. Is it weird? How come we never heard about these curses before? Yeah, I did say I was gonna go back to Sukuna. What did I wanted to go back to him for? Oh yeah, basically, I would say, alright, so going back to what I was saying with Sakuna himself, I'm gonna say that near things Geji will put, things that will be left out or later on put in, because it's all based with like your own interpretation of the character. Alright? So because back to that post, that Tumblr theory post I did with the video saying that Sukuna himself might be a relative of the Kamo clan. Yuji, he and Yuji. So, so he and Yuji would be relatives of the Kamo clan. Direct relatives. And it's nothing really too much to say about that. Because I've said it in the Discord that we're going to see much more chaos and no one's gonna catch a break. No one's gonna catch a break. Because it's gonna leave Megumi himself like sad said about the situation that he has no choice but to have Yuji be executed. It's not gonna end well for both of them, but for Megumi. So I'm gonna leave this here and see. That's what I have for now for the in-depth. So this is part 1 of the video. I might do part 2. Alright, bye guys, and tell me what you think.